Have you ever, or do you ever say, or have you noticed when people say, I know it's my thinking? And what happens afterwards? Because usually, in my experience, what happens is people say, I know it's my thinking, but I have to take it really seriously. Or, but I really hate it. Or, but I have to stop it. Or I have to, this happened and I'm feeling, so anxious. And so I need to change something. And I know it's my thinking. And the but and the second part of the sentence is really loud. And that's what we pay attention to. And it's like we need to think more in order to get rid of our thinking. We need to layer our thinking on top of our thinking and get really involved with it and take it really seriously. And that's kind of what makes sense. And well, that was me. And I know I'm worrying about something. What is it I'm worrying about? I need to focus on it because it's really important. And we kind of, the beginning of the sentence, I know it's my thinking, is lost. Doesn't mean anything. It's just, I know it's my thinking. But the thing is, and what if we really did know? What if we knew and we got interested in, well, who's thinking? We got interested in this space beyond. And that quiet sort of, I know it's my thinking. What if we got interested in that? We got curious and we started to look at it. And then what if we take out the but? So rather than, I know it's my thinking, but I've got to take it really seriously, I've got to stop it, or I've got to get rid of these feelings, or we just go, I know it's my thinking. And then there's this full stop. And it's just quiet. And you might say, well, that's not enough because, my thinking is showing me something. I need to act on it. I need to do this. But it's when we start to take ourselves into overwhelm or anxiety or kind of overthinking, it's like what I was saying before. And it's like what I think it's Rumi who says, when we are able to hear the silence, then we're able to listen. That's not a direct quote, it's something like that. It's like when we're able to sit in the silence. Because in this space, there seems to be a different wisdom. There seems to be more clarity, more compassion, an absence of judgment. It's just lighter. And we seem to, we seem to be able to navigate with more ease from this space. We're less kind of tangled and rushing and so, are you willing to stop at the beginning of the sentence? I know it's my thinking. I know so many people who go, who they leave me a message and they go, I know it's my thinking, Kate, but the thing is, this happened and now I'm feeling like this. And I go, you just didn't stop at the beginning of that sentence. I know it's my thinking, but then you brought it all alive. And what if you could see what you're bringing alive? What if you could see what you're creating? And the more you bring something, that's unconscious to a more conscious level, the more you get interested, the more you can see. Like what I was saying about this morning, about my nighttime thinking, and when I was kind of imagining that my husband was stressed, and by the end of my thinking, he was having a bloody nervous breakdown, and yet it was just because I was snoring. He was completely fine. It wasn't what I'd thought. It wasn't what I'd created. And how often are we creating stuff that just isn't what is playing out in reality or in, how much of our thinking do we actually kind of comes true? It's like we're always making stuff up. And that's not what I thought would happen. Yeah, because you made it up. And you start using this incredible gift as it's intended. You know, it's your gift to use. But when you start getting tangled up in it and feeling, you know, the overwhelm or the anxiety or then just notice, what am I doing? You know, I'm overthinking. And you might say, well, that's not enough because, you know, I've got all this anxiety and I need to get rid of it. Do you? You know, if we are, you know, if we're bringing some thoughts of, I don't know, some overwhelming thoughts or some unstable thoughts or some I'm not okay thoughts alive, we're going to feel them. We're going to feel anxious. We're going to feel the overwhelm. We're going to feel all of it. You know, so I would ask you, you know, can you accept, you know, what you've created in that moment? Not forever, but just in this moment. Can you accept these feelings? Because if you can accept them, they'll kind of fade. They'll just move on by. They'll sort themselves out. You trying to do something with them, get rid of them and judging them, they'll just get louder because you bring them into the forefront. Just an acceptance that, oh, this is what I've created. This is what I'm doing in this moment. And, you know, you might say, no, I can't accept that. I can't accept this feeling. And so then I would say to you, well, can you accept that this is where you are on your journey? You know, right now, you can't accept these feelings of anxiety. And that is another form of acceptance. That's also acceptance. Accepting where we are is accepting all of it. Accepting that we can't accept these feelings, we hate them. Or accepting, oh, okay, just accept the feelings and let them run through. They'll just pass through. Or just accepting, you know, right now I'm completely overthinking and creating and our feelings are our thoughts playing out. You know, we're going to feel them all. You know, and the more you kind of play around with this, there's a lightness around it, and then there's a freedom to kind of just be less attached to it all, have a different relationship with it all. And it's just less doing and more allowing. And it kind of brings a bit of relief, which is what this is all about. And I'll leave you in peace.